Hi guys, we're now here with Michael Douglas, actor on No Ordinary Man. Do you mind introducing us and telling us what led you to him?
Sure. Yes, so I play Meeks in No Ordinary Man. He is a character that is the obstruction for the protagonist, basically.
Okay.
And he comes in and things change after he comes in. That's as much as I can say.
Okay.
What led me to be here is I've been acting since I was, a kid mainly. I mean, I've been acting since I was like in church, doing little drama plays and then school plays at school. And then I studied performing arts at university to Montfort. And then after those 3 years, I started actually going into a Michael Jackson show. So I was in a Michael Jackson show for 2 years. Yeah, I was dancing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was fun. That was really good because I was very close to the manager, and the manager showed me a lot of the decisions he was making. So it kind of prepared me for like understanding a lot of things about the industry. And I've always wanted to act. I was dancing, but I always wanted to act mainly. And I was doing a little bit of extra work and things. And then I started to kind of become a full-time actor in 2017. And that was short films and web series. Right now, I'm currently in a web series called Southside. And I play a father called Terrell who follows the main protagonist, which is a female. It's a teenage girl who's just growing up in South London. It just basically shows that. And I play her father, Terrell, who kind of is a little bit of the kind of like Meeks, comes in and kind of changes things up, very much so. So maybe I just get those characters where I just come in,
common pattern.
I just I just come in and change everything up. So that's that kind of what happens. And I've done some short films. There's one on Amazon right now called Their Story. It's just one. Last year, I believe it won at the Winchester Film Festival. Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's been really good. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, work is cool.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit more about Southside. Where can people watch it?
Southside you can watch on YouTube. If you just type in Southside UK, you can get onto it straight away. It is 45 minutes, I believe, episode 1, and we did a pilot and we did we did a screening for it, and it was received really well. And now we've got a bit more money, so we're kind of filming episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yes, my character features still. I haven't been killed off, which is great. So yeah, it's been good.
Awesome. So what attracted you to this project originally, No Ordinary Man?
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a child, not even gonna front. So as soon as the word assassins came up, I was like, yes, yeah. Like that's all I needed to hear. I heard assassins. And then once obviously we looked deeper into the project, what I really liked about it is the humanity of the assassin world. Because I think that for years we've kind of built up little things and little characteristic traits that we put in our assassins in movies to make them look more and more kind of away from humanity. They have to be kind of like robots, killing machine, cold-blooded. And with this, it still sticks to that in the beginning, but then you start to get to know Hamza and you're conflicted because you're like, I relate to a guy, or I can find pieces of myself in a guy who kills someone for a living. That's weird. Yeah. And I like that because it intrigues you more. You don't know if you want to root for him or not. And that's the kind of thing that I like films like that. I like films that have a immediate effect on you, not films where it's like 10 minutes of fun and then you walk away from it. That's always fun. There's a time and a place for that. But I like thrillers and things that make you go, I'm conflicted because I walked away from that and I thought that I was gonna, but then I don't know if I feel, and I'm kind of 50-50. I like that.
Excellent. So this is Rahib's first director debut.
Yes.
Was that quite daunting or was that quite exciting?
No, do you know what was really nice? The actual devising of it was quite nice because it was quite collaborative. They had the backbone of the story. They had everything that they was going to do, but just things where as you jump into the character, Rahib was nice enough to be open to say, right, the person who's doing the character the most is you. And even though we wrote it, you would know that person more because you're getting into it. So when you're saying, oh, he wouldn't turn like this, or he wouldn't do this, or he would do this, he was kind of really ready to kind of understand what you was coming from. And that was really nice because it helped shape the character in the world, because you're establishing the world and that's what his job is, to establish the whole world. But your character has to fit in there somewhere. And if you can't find the rhythm, it can obstruct the viewing experience. And as an actor, it was really nice just to have the director just go, I like what you're saying and I understand what you're saying. Let's put that in. Let's kind of work with that. Or even let's have that as a take. So when it comes to editing process, we know we can throw it in or not, depending on how we feel. So yeah, that was really nice. And yeah, he's really open. He's got a keen eye. you can tell he loves film, and that's what was good.
Yeah.
It's nice to know it's someone who loves film. It's, you know, sometimes you get on these projects and it's just someone who bought a camera and thought they could do it.
Yeah.
And that can sometimes be a bit daunting. But when you know someone actually loves film, you know that they're taking inspiration from things they've learned from the same kind of material that you learned from, and that was encouraging. He just needed to say 3 or 4 films in the beginning, and I was like, yeah, no, this is the guy I want to work with. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
So with what were your early influences? I mean, you mentioned, you know, that you got into you was acting at church, you did school dramas and stuff. I mean, what was the first thing that made you think, I want to be an actor? That's what I want to do.
It's so weird because it was weird. I would say initially it was actually the first film that moved me, where I was like, okay, acting can have this kind of emotional impact on you, was when I was very, very young, and it was actually Edward Scissorhands, which is so weird. It's so weird. That's the reason why I paused for so long, because I was like, it's going to sound weird, but it is. Edward Scissorhands, I think I was going through an emotional, lonely time, and I think I projected it onto him. Because it wasn't the scenes where he was doing like cutting up, the cool scenes where, you know, he tried to kiss can't remember her name, but like, yeah, and Cutter and stuff. It wasn't all of those stuff. It was the stuff where he felt lonely. The times where you saw his real pain, I felt that, and I think I projected onto that, and I was like, wow, this is cool. And then entertainment wise, I can't lie, Usher Raymond was one of them. Usher Raymond. So it started off because I'd listen to his music and I'd watch him dance. And then suddenly, he wasn't the best actor in the world, I'm not going to lie, but he was in films. And seeing that he could dance, sing and act, and it was a career of his,
right.
It really made me kind of go into it. And then another person who was definitely an inspiration for me, just to be me, which kind of helped with the acting, was Dave Benson Phillips, 90s throwback. If you remember,
yeah,
Get Your Own Back.
Yes.
I'm quite a hyperactive kid, and back in the days in the 90s, and you know, when we were kids, all the black guys were trying to be cool. You don't smile in photos, you just, you know, you talk when you're talked to, blah blah blah. And I was the kid who was just like all the time. So I felt quite isolated, because I was like, I don't see guys like this. And then I turned on the TV and Playdays guys like Playdays and Get Your Own Back, and and I'm like, that makes me feel like I am a person, and that really inspired me to just be myself. And I think that kind of led me to, I'd say the arts led me, because it for me anyway, it's a language that communicates to anyone. Sometimes you can talk and you're trying to get something across to someone, but you know, they don't understand it. But through the arts, I always find that I can always get my point across to someone. And so that's how I think that found me. I feel like I felt misunderstood, and the arts was my way to kind of
express yourself.
Yeah. And that's how I found it. Yeah.
Excellent. So was there anyone that's more current that kind of influences your skill
definitely.
as well?
Okay. No, definitely. Like the big guys, Denzel, have to say it. It's a cliche because I'm black, but the thing is, when you kind of watch old school Denzel, there's things that he does and decisions because he became a star before I was born. This wasn't during the time where I was watching movies and voting for him. So you kind of have to go, why did everyone talk about him so much? What made him famous? He wasn't always Denzel. He was something before that. And you just watch the decisions he makes, how he commands attention, how he leads a movie that he did in the 90s, in the old movies, and even before that. You just like, it's a wonderful work. And he inspires me. Viola Davis inspires me. James McAvoy inspires me. Oh my gosh, James McAvoy inspires me.
James McAvoy, yeah,
he's incredible. And currently, Daniel Kaluuya, I think he's amazing.
Yes,
I think he's incredible. I think he's so incredible. I think he's been incredible because I watched some of his old stuff. But like, yeah, he's incredible. He takes on a role, he devours it, he becomes it, and he knows how to have his moments where he still holds your attention when he's the only thing on screen, and I love that. There's not a lot of people who can do that. Sometimes you're just waiting for them to interact because that's where the acting comes out and that's where it's fun. He's one of the people where he could just lead a movie where
you don't realize he's
he could just like literally be in a desert and look at a butterfly on his finger and you're like, I watched all of that and that was nothing. He's that.
So where's your dream to be? Like, have you thought about going more towards becoming like a triple threat? Do you want to go more down that movie, or you just kind of see where things go?
I've always said to people when they ask this, anytime someone asks this, I always say I always introduce myself as an actor who can sing and dance. I never say I'm an actor, singer, and dancer. I mean, it says it on my Instagram profile, but that's because of advertising and marketing. But I am an actor who can sing and dance. I just enjoy. I found myself in a position where if I dance to something and you find someone else can do it better, I'll go ahead. If I sing a song and you can find someone better, I say go ahead. If I act something and you say we found someone better, I'll be like, okay, go ahead. But I am going to work on that. And 10 weeks later, even though you've chosen who you've chosen, I'm going to send you my version because I know it was better, because I know I trained. I'm competitive when it comes to acting. So that's why I chase after that more than I chase after the other two. The other two, if you got someone else better, that's fine. For me, I want to be better. So acting, yeah, that's my thing. So that's the reason why I'm kind of seeing myself that. And yes, I would like to do more films. I'd like to do more features. I'd like to do a lot more thrillers. I like detective thrillers. I like thrillers where, yeah, like I said, things that you have to think. Love comedy, always have done comedy, like to do comedy. So that's always great. But I don't want to be just doing comedy, because comedy,
puts you into a
it does. And it's kind of easy in terms of, I guess my upbringing has always been quite comical. So that's easy to fall into. But like the other stuff where there's been other parts of my life which have been quite dramatic, and that's also nice to carry into and be put on scene as well. So yeah.
What innovations do you see in the industry currently that you think could be really beneficial for the industry, or is there something that you kind of seeing that you feel like it's kind of being taken away from the actors' side? Like, I mean, like, was it yesterday? I watched a video of a deep fake of Tom Cruise. Yeah. I mean, what I was talking to Rahib about is there a future where actors may not be needed as much? It's
it's becoming that. I think one of the most silent grievances that every actor feels right now is, you know, you go to auditions or you go for things and then you finally see who got the part of a commercial and you realize it's somebody who's got millions of numbers on Instagram. That's just the way it is. You've got TikTok and people are influencers. People are looking, businesses are banking on people who will put bumps on seats, who will guarantee this will work. So yes, they could go with you because you're a good actor, but nobody knows who you are. So they kind of would go with someone who maybe you're not a great actor, but you put your face on it, then we've got a whole big audience.
People recognize you.
So in the actors game, you have to kind of learn to be your own self-promo guy. I mean, I'm constantly posting whatever I'm doing on Instagram. I mean, this will be on Instagram in like the next 10 seconds because you constantly have to kind of show that you're doing that. And it's,
you're active.
Yeah, and it's a job. It's a second job and it's hard. And, you know, people do love to do it. Some people don't love to do it. I'm kind of in the middle. Some days I like it. Some days I'm like, this is too much. But yeah, you have to generate your own hype because you haven't got any money to pay someone to do it. So yeah, that's difficult.
What's your ideal role? Like if there was, if you could have played any role in a film from the past that you're a big fan of, what role do you reckon you would have been really good for? Or what role would you like to play?
I would have I don't know. I haven't thought about it enough to know if I was good enough to play it, but I definitely love and wish I was the one in The Matrix.
Okay.
It's just, do you know what it is? It's not even the second, forget the second and third, you know, it was cool, but forget the second and third. The first one of just seeing Mr. Anderson transform into Neo, that character arc, brilliant, perfect, brilliant. He went through so much, in terms of his mindset, and that was perfect and brilliant. Another role that I would have loved to play, and I always think about it as well, actually, people have told me that they want me to be Burr in Hamilton. People have said this to me many a time. Okay. And I'm like, okay, let me get, because the thing is, I didn't jump on the hype in the beginning, so everybody knew my shot. Everyone was singing my shot, and I was like, okay, cool, I don't know my shot. Then saw Hamilton, was like, this is the best, so I'm now kind of catching up. But yeah, that would have been another role that people have said, and I look at it and I go, yeah, I would definitely. But Matrix, Neo, definitely, yeah.
Who would you love to work with? I know you've said you got influence like Denzel, and you got a couple of other few. I mean, if someone come to you with the script and say, "Got this person on," what will make you say yes without even thinking about it?
Jordan Peele, easy. Jordan Peele, yeah, definitely. Comedy or drama, definitely. I like the way he thinks. I like the way he puts things out.
I was actually surprised by some of his features, to be honest.
Yeah, because they come
from
random
comedy, and then that big turn.
Yeah. When they used to say Peele, at one time you'd think of Key and Peele, and it was just funny, and now it's like Jordan Peele. It's like, is it scary? Is it tough? Like, you know, yeah. Obviously Denzel, obviously Viola. Other people like Tom Hardy, I would love. Oh my gosh, I love to, because I think that there's something about his performance that is encompassing that you can't actually flop with Tom Hardy, I don't think, because he just brings you in. I think Shia LaBeouf does it as well. controversy because he's done a few weird stuff, but he does a few things where it's just like, Shiloh, why? Fury. But yeah, he's got this encompassing thing where it's just like, yeah, no, this is going to be a good movie, whether you like it or not. So Tom Hardy, definitely. And if I could, would be amazing. I don't know how I'd play with him. I don't know how it would work, but Leonardo DiCaprio would be like incredible, because I think that man has, since I was a kid, has transformed so much in each character, and I think he's just brilliant. Samuel Jackson to be my dad would be amazing as well. Yep, that'd be good. I'd love that one. Yeah, Samuel, definitely perfect.
Wicked. So they were talking about. I was talking with Rahib and obviously the producer. I was just interviewing just before as well. They've got conflicting ideas about where this film could go.
Yes, yes, I've heard this. Yeah.
So now it looks like it's a little bit further. One person saying we'd like to expand it and maybe a feature, and the other person saying it could expand into a series. Yeah. Where do you stand in this big battle going on between them?
Funny, because it's like when it comes to the series, I don't want it to turn into Thingy and Hobbs from like from Fast and Furious, like, because it would just be like, yeah, Meeks and Hamza, and it's just like, nah. Whereas I wouldn't mind films if it became bigger and we kind of had like the assassins from different squadrons, then a series from different squadrons would be great. So like maybe an international thing where it's like, you know, you've got the France team and sometimes they interact with our team and this team, and that as a series, because that's expand on the world. That'd be cool. But yeah, if we just had a series and it was just like following these two guys, you know, they hate each other and then they love each other kind of thing, it'd be like, yeah, nah. Yeah, because it stops becoming about the big thing, and the big thing is this humanity in this world. And I think one of the greatest things in the film that we do is we keep it relevant. So you do see COVID regulations in the film, and it's nice because it's that thing of going, so this is happening in 2021. I've been so collected with what I'm doing in 2021 that I couldn't even think outside of other people's lives this is happening. So that's what I think is a nice appeal to the film for me anyway, where it is that thing where it's like, oh, so this could be happening right now and we wouldn't even know because we, you know, consumed by what else is happening and stuff. Yeah, I think that's cool.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us. And, you know, answering the questions and exploring. Hopefully you get to catch up soon.
Yes.
And, you know, when the film or when the short film actually goes to the next stage, hopefully, fingers crossed it goes to film series or film. Wherever it goes, not too sure. Don't know if they'll split the team. Is there anything that you want to promote? Anything you want to let the guys know about? Anything you got coming up?
Yes. So I have a film called Stargazer that's coming up. If you go to my Instagram, which is at d.dugz, DDugz. Yep, give me a follow. I do follow back. I'm not mean. Yes, and you'll be able to kind of keep up with everything I'm doing. It's obviously, as I said, Southside, we're doing episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that will be coming out the whole of season 1. And yeah, you can just kind of keep in touch with me and stuff that's going on with me. Yeah, I'm a friendly guy. I talk. So yeah, feel free.
Thank you for joining us today, man.
Thank you
really
so
appreciate
much.
it. Thank you again.
Thanks again.